Welcome to part 2 of the best single-player games you absolutely need to try. Today, I've got a bunch of amazing titles lined up, and I'm more than confident at least one of them will become your new favorite. And don't worry, even though this video turned out quite long, it's just a fraction of everything I've prepared. Plenty of awesome games are still ahead, so I promise there's much more to surprise you with in the future. Let's dive in. You find yourself in a futuristic city where immortality is basically a product. Consciousness can be transferred from body to body, but only if you can pay for it. You step into the shoes of Detective James Kara, who, after a serious accident, gets a new body and gets pulled into a murder investigation. The case slowly unravels, not just the crime itself, but also the hidden motives of the elite and a twisted system where the rich keep living while the poor disappear. Alongside your partner Sarah, you try to uncover who's behind the crimes and how this unusual system even works. The gameplay revolves around exploration and investigation. You move through locations, examine crime scenes, and use a device called the Reconstructor, which lets you rewind moments in time, view events from different angles, and uncover hidden clues. You examine evidence with scanners, connect the dots on your investigation board, and piece together the chain of events. Conversations with characters affect how the investigation progresses and what endings you can reach. Your main objective is to gather information, make sense of it, and slowly reveal the truth about the immortality system. The game is a pure detective story with a futuristic setting, neon-lit streets and high-tech gadgets that make you feel like you're investigating a world where death is a commodity and memory and identity lie at the heart of everything. In Tainted Grail, the fall of Avalon, you awaken as a prisoner in a forsaken land, only to discover your soul is intertwined with the long-dead King Arthur. Avalon, once a realm of legend, now lies in ruin, plagued by the Red Death and the Weirdness, a chaotic force warping reality itself. Your journey is one of self-discovery and redemption, as you search for the lost pieces of Arthur's soul to restore him to life, all while grappling with the moral complexities of your newfound identity. The game unfolds in a vast open world divided into 3 distinct regions, each steeped in its own history and mystery. As you traverse this decaying landscape, you encounter a multitude of characters, each with their own agendas and secrets. Your interactions with them, shaped by your choices and actions, influence the unfolding narrative, leading to multiple possible endings that reflect the weight of your decisions. Combat is visceral and strategic, offering a variety of weapons and abilities to master. This fallen world is rich with lore, hundreds of quests and environmental storytelling, encouraging careful exploration and engagement with its many facets. Tainted Grail presents a narrative-driven experience where every choice matters, and the line between hero and villain is often blurred. It challenges you to confront the past, question your purpose, and decide the fate of a world teetering on the brink of oblivion. In The Last of Us Part 1, you will follow hardened survivor Joel across a desolate United States, 20 years after a fungal pandemic has shattered civilization. What begins as a mission to smuggle immune teenager Ellie out of a quarantine zone slowly turns into something far more personal. As they cross abandoned towns and cities overtaken by nature, their relationship evolves from distrust to a fragile, deeply human connection. Throughout their journey, they encounter isolated communities, hostile survivors, and infected creatures twisted beyond recognition. Combat is raw and tense, ammunition is limited, forcing careful planning over brute force. Stealth often takes precedence, with makeshift weapons and crafted tools like Molotovs and medkits offering a fighting chance. Gradually, Ellie grows into a vital companion, helping you in shootouts and grounding the story with her resilience. And when it all builds toward a choice Joel makes, one driven by love, fear, and selfishness, it leaves questions that linger long after the credits roll. The Evil Within. In a world twisted by nightmare and fractured reality, you step into the shoes of a detective caught between the thin veil of sanity and the horrifying depths of a mysterious realm. After investigating a gruesome mass murder, you find yourself trapped in a terrifying dimension where reality bends and distorts, turning familiar places into twisted and threatening landscapes. The line between life and death dissolves as you confront monstrous creatures born from the darkest corners of human fear and insanity. Survival is a desperate, tense struggle. Resources are scarce, forcing careful decisions between stealth and brutal combat. Each encounter demands sharp instincts and quick reflexes, as enemies lurk in shadows and sudden threats can appear from nowhere. The environment itself feels hostile. Corridors twist unnaturally, walls bleed, and the air is thick with dread. Puzzle elements weave into the experience, compelling thoughtful exploration and attention to cryptic clues scattered across a world that constantly shifts around you. The story unfolds like a disturbing nightmare that's hard to shake, a psychological descent fueled by tragedy, betrayal, and a haunting mystery that reveals itself piece by piece. You'll unravel the dark secrets behind the nightmare, while fighting not only to survive, but to retain the flickering remnants of your own mind. This journey isn't just about horror for shock's sake. It's about a creeping dread that settles under your skin. The atmosphere is oppressive, constantly reminding you that the line separating the real and the unreal is razor thin and ready to snap at any moment. Every step forward is a test of will in a world that punishes mistakes with lethal consequences. In the early 18th century, the Caribbean Sea becomes a battleground where empires vie for dominance and pirates carve their own destinies. Amidst this turmoil, Edward Kenway, a charismatic and ambitious privateer turned pirate, navigates a world full of political intrigue, betrayal, and the pursuit of something greater than gold: freedom. His path intertwines with the secretive Assassin Brotherhood and the calculating Templar Order, each striving to shape the future in their own way. The story unfolds across a vast, ever-changing open world, stretching from dense jungle islands and bustling colonial cities to the open sea. Commanding the Jackdaw, a ship built for speed and firepower, you can chase merchant vessels, raid fortresses, dive into shipwrecks, and uncover lost relics buried beneath turquoise waters. Naval combat is both tactical and intense, where each crashing wave or sudden storm can completely shift the course of a fight. On land, stealth, cunning, and swordsmanship guide you through tangled conspiracies and dangerous alliances. There's a rhythm to the chaos, a dance between freedom and consequence that shapes every moment. In Bramble the Mountain King, you embark on a dark and enchanting journey inspired by Nordic folklore. Playing as a young boy named Ole, you must traverse a mysterious and treacherous world to rescue your kidnapped sister from the clutches of terrifying creatures. The game blends atmospheric exploration with riddles to solve and tense encounters against grotesque and haunting foes. Each environment is richly detailed, immersing you in a world where beauty and horror coexist. The creatures you encounter are drawn from Scandinavian myths, each with unique behaviors that require observation and strategy to overcome. A key element is the spark of courage, a mystical power that aids in overcoming obstacles and battling monstrous entities. With a haunting soundtrack and deeply emotional storytelling, Bramble the Mountain King delivers an unsettling but captivating experience, blending fairy tale wonder with nightmarish undertones. You awaken in the ruins of a shattered Los Angeles, thrust into the grip of a war where machines have risen to wipe out the last traces of humanity. As Jacob Rivers, a soldier of the Resistance marked for termination, you carry both the burden of survival and the weight of decisions that may alter the course of the conflict. The world around you is scarred with the aftermath of nuclear fire, where every step forward draws you deeper into a struggle, with your choices rippling outward and shaping the lives of those who look to you for hope. Your journey is a blend of intense shootouts and careful exploration. You scavenge through devastated neighborhoods, searching for resources and materials that let you craft weapons, devices, and traps. The story unravels through the bonds you form with those around you. Conversations and choices you make regarding them shape their trust and the future they will face alongside you. Every decision you make and every action you take will determine whether the flame of life endures or is extinguished forever. In The Walking Dead Season 2, you're back with Clementine, a little girl who has lost her guardian and now has to survive on her own in a world where the living can be just as dangerous as the dead. There's no room for mistakes. Every choice can affect your group and determine who makes it to the end. Throughout the story, you meet new people, each holding their own problems and secrets, and the way you interact with them really matters. Conversations often put you in moral dilemmas, and your decisions will shape relationships and influence events around you. The gameplay is structured episodically, lots of dialogue where you need to make choices, combined with fast-paced moments that demand quick thinking and reaction. From episode to episode, the tension steadily ramps up, eventually leading to a climactic final where all your decisions come together, showing who you've become and which relationships you've managed to preserve. In the Midnight Walk, you awaken as the Burnt One, a resurrected being in a world consumed by eternal darkness. Accompanied by Potboy, you traverse this bleak landscape, lighting candles to repel monstrous entities attracted to the warmth and light you provide. The environment reacts to your actions, with certain puzzles demanding you to listen intently and focus your senses, using audio cues to navigate and uncover hidden truths. Throughout your odyssey, you encounter a myriad of creatures, each more grotesque and disturbing than the last. The handcrafted clay art style, combined with stop-motion animation, creates a dreamlike atmosphere, enhancing the emotional resonance of your journey. This game is a meditative adventure of light and shadow, guiding you through a place where every flicker of flame is a beacon of hope in a world full of darkness. DEATHLOOP. Trapped in a mysterious island where time resets endlessly, you find yourself caught in a relentless cycle, waking up each day with no memory of what came before. This strange loop erases all progress, forcing you to learn from each repetition and discover new ways to outsmart a deadly adversary who's just as determined to end the cycle as you are. As the hours rewind, the island itself reveals its secrets layer by layer, blending beautiful, deceptive calm with lurking dangers that keep every moment unpredictable. Moving through this world demands a balance of sharp wit, careful planning, and fast reflexes. The environment shifts constantly, offering opportunities to exploit shadows and an arsenal of weapons mixed with unusual powers that bend reality to your will. Every encounter is a game of cat and mouse, where anticipating your opponent's moves and setting clever traps becomes essential. With each loop, you gather knowledge that slowly turn the island from an inescapable prison into a place where escape feels possible. The experience is more than just surviving fights. It's about unraveling a complex story woven through time, where motives and loyalties are never what they seem. In this cycle of repetition and revelation, mastery over time itself becomes the ultimate tool. And breaking free means playing a high-stakes game where every second counts, and the line between hunter and hunted blurs in thrilling, unpredictable ways. Wildermyth is a game about stories that feel like they grow right before your eyes. You begin with a small group of ordinary heroes and watch them evolve over time. Someone steps up as a real leader. Someone picks up weird little habits, and someone just surprises you with what they do. And these changes actually affect the whole story. Allies can argue, new relationships can form, and the choices you make will echo into the future. The battle system is turn-based on a grid, but it's anything but boring, and positioning your characters right using the terrain and mixing abilities is essential. Every fight is kind of like a mini puzzle. Sometimes you win by being clever rather than just strong. The story is told through comic-style moments that dive into your heroes' personal lives. These scenes can shift what's happening on the map and sometimes lead to unexpected twists. How your campaign ends depends on how you've led your heroes. You might get an epic finale full of sacrifice and heroics, or a warm and cozy ending, showing what your heroes did for this world and how they changed. High above the clouds in 1912, the city of Columbia floats as a gleaming symbol of American exceptionalism. Beneath its majestic facade lies a society rotting with fanaticism, racism, and class warfare. Into this fractured paradise steps Booker DeWitt, a man with a violent past and one last shot at redemption. Find a girl named Elizabeth and bring her back. Elizabeth isn't just a captive, she's the key to tearing apart space and time itself. Her power to open rifts to parallel realities makes her both a miracle and a target. As you fight through rebels and monstrous machines, Elizabeth aids you by reshaping the battlefield in real time, summoning cover or weapons. Combat is fast and brutal, mixing traditional firearms with vigors, potent powers that let you hurl fire, control mines, or electrify foes. The city's Skyline transport system lets you leap into aerial skirmishes and ambush enemies from above, turning the battlefield into a vertical playground. But this isn't just a mission. It's a spiral into fractured identities, looping timelines, and truths that rewrite everything you thought you knew. What begins as a rescue becomes a reckoning. Subnautica transports you to an alien oceanic planet, where you assume the role of Riley Robinson, a survivor of the spaceship Aurora's crash. Stranded amidst vast underwater expanses, you must navigate diverse marine environments, from sunlit coral reefs to shadowy deep-sea trenches, all while managing essentials like oxygen, hunger, and thirst. The game allows you to collect materials to craft tools, build underwater habitats, and pilot various submersibles. As you delve deeper, you will encounter a myriad of marine creatures, some benign and others posing significant threats. The narrative unfolds through exploration and discovery, revealing the mysteries of the planet and the fate of its previous inhabitants. In the aftermath of nuclear devastation, Moscow's metro system becomes humanity's last fragile refuge. Within these shadowy tunnels, Artyom, a young survivor, is drawn into a journey to deliver a warning about the Dark Ones, mysterious beings whose misunderstood presence sparks fear and aggression. Metro 2033 Redux refines this haunting tale with updated visuals and smoother mechanics. You can choose between two distinct styles, one built around scarcity and careful movement, the other leaning into faster, more direct confrontations. For those seeking a tougher test, Ranger Mode strips away the interface and ramps up the realism. As you navigate the ruined metro lines and the dangerous surface above, threats come in many forms: twisted mutants, rival factions, and the toxic environment itself. The world reacts to every move, and choices like hoarding bullets or sneaking past enemies can mean the difference between survival and a silent end. Metro 2033 Redux is more than just a fight for survival. It's a bleak, thought-provoking dive into what remains of humanity when the world has already ended. Mad Max plunges you into brutal, post-apocalyptic wasteland where survival is the primary goal. This open-world action game, developed by Avalanche Studios, lets players embody Max, a lone road warrior in a world ravaged by gangs and war. The narrative begins with Max being stripped of his beloved Interceptor car, leading him to team up with a mysterious mechanic known as Chum Bucket. Together, they aim to build a powerful vehicle, the Magnum Opus, to confront the tyrannical warlord Scrotus and his army. The gameplay is a mix of vehicular clashes, on-foot brawls, and exploration. You can engage in high-octane car chases and traversing the vast wasteland. The combat system emphasizes dynamic action, with Max using both melee and range attacks to defeat enemies. The game's world is expansive, with a variety of missions and side quests to pull you in for dozens of hours. In the neon-lit streets of Yokohama, a decomposing body is discovered in an abandoned warehouse, setting off a chain of events that will test the boundaries between justice and vengeance. The prime suspect, Akihiro Ehara, is a convicted police officer who claims to have committed the murder while being apprehended for another crime at the same time. This contradiction leads Detective Takayuki Yagami into a complex investigation that uncovers a web of corruption, bullying, and a broken legal system. As Yagami delves deeper, he goes undercover at Seiryo High School, where he becomes a club advisor to expose the rampant bullying within the institution. This role allows him to infiltrate various school clubs, each with its own unique activities and challenges. From dance battles to boxing matches, these side stories not only provide insight into the lives of the students, but also offer a reprieve from the main investigation, enriching the narrative with diverse experiences. The investigative mechanics are central to the gameplay, requiring Yagami to utilize a combination of traditional detective work and modern technology. Days Gone is an open-world action-adventure game set in a post-apocalyptic Pacific Northwest. It follows Deacon St. John, a drifter and bounty hunter, as he battles hordes of freakers, infected zombie-like creatures, while searching for answers about his lost loved ones. The game features dynamic horde battles and stealth-based combat. You will rely heavily on a customizable motorcycle for exploration and survival, in a world where resources are scarce and danger is everywhere. A day-night cycle and dynamic weather impact gameplay, making survival more challenging. Praised for its gripping story and atmospheric world, Days Gone balances emotional storytelling with intense action. Crysis 3 Remastered brings back the acclaimed first-person shooter with enhanced visuals and optimized performance for modern hardware. This edition focuses on the single-player campaign, delivering improved graphics and refined gameplay. You step into the role of Prophet, a super soldier equipped with a powerful nanosuit. Armed with the versatile Predator bow, which can fire electric, explosive, and carbon arrows, you take on both human and alien threats. Your mission is to hunt down the alien Alpha Ceph and uncover the dark secrets behind the Cell Corporation. Set in a future New York City transformed into a dense urban rainforest under a massive nanodome, the game features diverse environments, from overgrown jungles to flooded streets, that serve as dynamic battlegrounds. The remastered version enhances these locations with high-resolution textures and improved lighting effects, creating a more visually striking experience. In the ruins of a future shattered by war and a deadly digital plague, society is ruled by corporations and surveillance. You step into the role of Daniel Lazarski, an observer, an elite detective with the power to hack minds. After a cryptic message from your estranged son, you arrive at a crumbling apartment block where a brutal murder has taken place, and the building is suddenly locked down. With tools that let you scan crime scenes and a device called the Dream Eater, you dive into distorted memories of the dead and dying. These surreal mental landscapes twist reality, revealing secrets buried deep in fear and trauma. Conversations through flickering intercoms with paranoid tenants paint a picture of a society breaking under the weight of its own technology. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard reshapes the survival horror genre with its bold return to core elements of terror, resource management, and atmospheric storytelling. The game distinguishes itself from previous installments by shifting to a tense first-person perspective, plunging players into a suffocating and chilling world where every creak of the floorboard feels ominous. The game follows Ethan Winters, an ordinary civilian with no combat training, who ventures into the backwoods of Louisiana in search of his missing wife, Mia. His investigation leads him to the decaying, grotesque Baker family estate, a nightmarish plantation riddled with secrets and unspeakable horrors. What begins as a desperate rescue mission spirals into a harrowing fight for survival against deranged foes, bioorganic monstrosities, and the mind-bending influence of a mysterious infection. A defining feature of Resident Evil 7 is its intricate narrative structure. Scattered VHS tapes found throughout the estate allow players to experience pivotal events from different perspectives, unraveling the twisted history of the Baker family and the origins of the bioweapon nightmare. These moments provide context to the main storyline while offering some of the game's most intense sequences. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel even more, grab me a coffee over at Buy Me a Coffee, link in the description. Catch you in the next one, and thanks for the support.